My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen closely, because something unusual is unfolding around you right now. There is a quiet shift in the air, a change that very few people would notice, but the one connected to your story has felt it deeply. What you did recently, whether it was a choice, a silence, a brave step forward, or simply the way you carried yourself, created a reaction you never expected. It stopped them in their tracks. It made them rethink everything they believed about you. And the most surprising part is this: they cannot stop thinking about it. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you inside this story, and it may explain why their attention has suddenly turned back toward you with such intensity. There was a moment, not long ago, when this person believed they had already understood you. In their mind, they had built a clear picture: who you were, what you might do, how you might respond to the world around you. But then something happened that didn't fit the image they had created. It was unexpected. It was bold in a quiet way. And it left them stunned in the most unexpected sense. Suddenly the certainty they once had began to dissolve. Questions appeared where confidence once lived. Curiosity replaced assumptions. And now, even when they try to focus on something else, your presence returns to their thoughts like an echo they cannot silence. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you are occupying a space in their mind that feels impossible to ignore. The moment they witnessed or heard about what you did, something shifted in their heart. It was not loud or dramatic on the outside, but inside them it felt like a sudden awakening. They realized there was more depth to you than they had ever allowed themselves to see. And that realization shook them. It surprised them in a way that made them step back and reconsider the connection they once kept at a distance. Stay till the end, because what is unfolding next might explain why their thoughts keep circling back to you again and again. What fascinates them the most is the quiet strength behind your actions. They expected something predictable, something ordinary. But what they saw instead was courage, authenticity, and a kind of confidence that cannot be easily ignored. That moment became a turning point. In their private thoughts, they keep replaying it, asking themselves questions they never considered before. Did I misjudge them? Was there always something extraordinary about them that I failed to notice? And each time those questions appear, the answer keeps pointing back to you. The truth is, that single moment created a ripple effect that continues to expand in their mind. The more they reflect on it, the more intrigued they become. It is not just curiosity, it is admiration mixed with a sense of surprise. They did not expect you to stand out in that way. And now, the more they think about it, the more they feel drawn to see you again, to understand you better, to experience your presence in a new light. Something huge is waiting for you in this unfolding story, because the realization growing inside them is stronger than they ever anticipated. And here is the part that makes this moment so unusual. While you may have moved forward without thinking twice about what happened, they are still standing at that emotional crossroads. Your actions created a spark of awareness that refuses to fade. Even when they try to convince themselves it was just a small moment, their heart disagrees. Something about it felt meaningful, almost like a sign that they underestimated the impact you could have on their life. Don't skip this part, because the next step in this story is quietly approaching. The more they sit with these thoughts, the more they feel an urge building inside them, an urge to reconnect, to see you with their own eyes again, to understand the energy that surprised them so deeply. What once seemed ordinary now feels mysterious to them. And that mystery is pulling them closer, little by little. In the quiet spaces of their day, during moments when no one else is watching, they imagine what it would be like to stand in front of you again. Not the version of you they thought they knew before, but the version they are beginning to discover now. The one who surprised them. The one who showed a side of strength and presence they never expected. And with each passing day, that curiosity grows stronger. Stay till the end of this journey, because the story has only just begun. What shocked them was not just what you did, it was what your actions revealed about who you truly are. And the more they realize this truth, the more their desire to see you again becomes impossible to ignore. Something powerful is building quietly behind the scenes, and the next moment in this connection may arrive sooner than either of you expected. A quiet realization has begun to rise inside them, slowly but unmistakably, like the first light of dawn breaking across a long, silent night. The more time passes, the more they recognize that the moment involving you was not ordinary at all. It felt different from anything they had experienced before. At first they tried to brush it aside, convincing themselves that it was just a passing thought, just a fleeting reaction. But every attempt to ignore it only made the memory stronger. Your presence lingered in their mind with surprising clarity. The way you carried yourself, the energy behind what you did, the calm confidence that surrounded you, these details returned again and again. And each time they resurfaced, the same thought echoed inside them: something about you had changed their perspective forever. In their quiet moments, when the noise of the world fades away, they replay that memory with deeper attention. They notice things they overlooked the first time. They begin to understand the meaning behind your actions in a new way. What once seemed simple now appears layered with depth. What once felt small now feels powerful. And this realization has left them standing in a place they never expected to reach. Because suddenly they are not just remembering you, they are wondering about you. Wondering who you truly are beneath the surface they thought they understood. Stay till the end, because this part of the story reveals something important. Curiosity has become the bridge between the past and what may happen next. And the more they reflect on you, the stronger that curiosity becomes. There is a strange kind of respect forming in their heart now. It wasn't there before, at least not in this way. Before, they may have thought they had you figured out. They believed they could predict your reactions, your decisions, the path you might follow. But what you did shattered that illusion completely. And when someone's expectations break like that, it forces them to see things differently. Suddenly they begin to recognize qualities they overlooked. Strength, independence, quiet determination. These are the very traits that captured their attention and left them amazed. And now, without even realizing it, they are comparing every new moment to that turning point. Conversations with others feel ordinary. The energy around them feels routine. But when your memory enters their thoughts, something changes. Their focus sharpens. Their heart becomes alert. Because your presence carries a sense of authenticity that stands apart from everything else in their life right now. Don't skip this moment, because something huge is waiting for you within this realization. What they cannot explain, even to themselves, is why the feeling keeps growing stronger instead of fading away. Usually, surprises fade with time. Usually, people move on and forget. But this situation refuses to follow that pattern. The more days pass, the more meaningful that moment becomes to them. It feels like the beginning of something they did not anticipate. They have started noticing small details connected to you, things that once seemed insignificant but now hold a strange importance. Maybe it's the way you handled a situation with calm confidence. Maybe it's the way you chose honesty over convenience. Maybe it's the way you stood firm in your own truth without needing validation from anyone else. Whatever the reason, it created an impression that continues to grow inside them. And here is the surprising part. They are beginning to realize that seeing you again might answer the questions forming in their mind. Because memories alone are not enough anymore. They want to understand the energy behind those memories. They want to see whether the feeling they sensed in that moment was real or simply their imagination. This desire is not loud or dramatic, but it is persistent. It stays with them quietly, like a whisper that refuses to disappear. Stay till the end, because this whisper is turning into something much stronger. There are moments during their day when your name appears unexpectedly in their thoughts. It might happen while they are walking somewhere familiar. It might happen during a quiet evening when they are alone with their reflections. Suddenly your memory returns, and with it comes the same feeling of astonishment they felt the first time. And every time that happens, the same realization follows: they underestimated the impact you could have on their life. What surprises them the most is how natural it feels to think about you now. It is no longer a fleeting curiosity. It has become a steady presence in their mind. And with that presence comes a question they can no longer ignore. What would it be like to see you again? Not in the way they saw you before, through old assumptions or expectations, but in a completely new way. Seeing you as someone they never truly understood until now. The thought of that moment sparks a sense of anticipation inside them. It feels like the opening of a door they didn't even realize existed. Something huge is waiting for you as this story continues. Because the truth is, that surprising moment changed more than just their opinion about you. It shifted their entire perspective. It showed them that people cannot always be understood at first glance. Sometimes the most remarkable qualities reveal themselves when least expected. And when that happens, it leaves a lasting mark. You became that mark in their story. The more they reflect on it, the more they realize that what shocked them was not just the action itself, it was the depth behind it. The quiet confidence. The authenticity. The sense that you were completely comfortable standing in your own truth. Those qualities are rare, and when someone encounters them unexpectedly, they cannot easily forget the experience. Now, slowly but surely, a decision is forming inside them. At first it was just curiosity. Then it became admiration. Now it is turning into a quiet determination to reconnect with the person who surprised them so deeply. Don't skip what comes next. Because the moment they finally see you again may reveal something neither of you anticipated. And as this realization continues to grow inside their heart, one thing is becoming impossible for them to ignore. Your presence did more than surprise them. It awakened a desire to understand you in a way they never tried before. And that desire is leading them toward a moment that could change everything. For a while they tried to convince themselves that the feeling would fade, that time would quietly erase the impact of that moment. But something unusual happened instead. The memory of you did not weaken. It became clearer. Every day that passed seemed to polish that memory rather than blur it. Small details they barely noticed before began to stand out sharply in their mind. The tone of your voice, the calm certainty behind your actions, the way you handled the situation without hesitation, these pieces returned to them again and again. And with each return came a deeper realization that the moment they witnessed was not ordinary. It carried a meaning they had not understood at first. At first, they kept this realization to themselves. They told no one about it. On the outside their life continued exactly the same. Conversations, routines, responsibilities, everything moved forward. Like it always had. But beneath that ordinary surface, something quiet was happening inside them. Their thoughts kept drifting back to you. And every time they did, a question surfaced that they could no longer push away. Why did that moment affect them so deeply? Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you inside this realization. The truth is, that single moment opened a door in their mind. Before that day, they believed they understood the boundaries of your personality. They thought they knew how you would respond to challenges, how you would carry yourself, how you would show up in the world. But what you did shattered those expectations completely. It showed them a dimension of you they had never considered before. And that discovery made them see you in a completely new light. Now when they think about you, it is not with the casual familiarity they once felt. Instead there is a sense of intrigue. Almost like standing in front of a story they have only just begun to understand. They feel as though there are layers to you that were invisible before, layers they never bothered to look for. And realizing that has filled them with a quiet sense of wonder. Don't skip this moment, because the feeling growing inside them is stronger than they expected. There are times during the day when your memory appears without warning. It might happen while they are in the middle of something ordinary. Suddenly their mind pauses, and your image crosses their thoughts like a flash of clarity. And when that happens, they feel the same sense of amazement they felt in the original moment. It is as if time briefly returns them to that exact point, the point where they realized they had underestimated you. That realization has been slowly transforming the way they think about the connection between you. Before, it may have seemed simple or predictable. Now it feels filled with possibility. They are beginning to wonder whether that surprising moment was more than just coincidence. Perhaps it was a turning point neither of you recognized at the time. Stay till the end, because the next part of this story is quietly approaching. As these thoughts continue to grow, another feeling has begun to appear inside them: respect. Not the casual respect people often give without thinking, but a deeper admiration that forms when someone witnesses genuine strength in another person. Your actions revealed a level of authenticity that cannot be easily ignored. You did not try to impress anyone. You did not seek attention. You simply acted according to your truth. And that authenticity struck them more powerfully than they expected. The more they reflect on it, the more they realize that this moment changed the way they see you forever. Something about you now feels different in their eyes. It feels significant. It feels meaningful. And that meaning is drawing their attention back toward you again and again. Something huge is waiting for you as this story unfolds. Because with every passing day, the same idea continues to grow stronger inside their mind. It is no longer just curiosity. It is not just admiration. It is a quiet but undeniable desire to reconnect, to stand in your presence again and understand the energy that surprised them so deeply. They want to see if the feeling they sensed in that moment still exists. They want to see whether the connection they overlooked before has been quietly growing without their awareness. And the most surprising part is this. They are beginning to believe that meeting you again may reveal answers they did not even know they were searching for. Right now they may not have spoken these thoughts aloud. They may not have taken any visible step toward you yet. But inside them, a realization has already taken root. The version of you they once believed they understood is gone. In its place stands someone far more intriguing, far more remarkable. And that realization has created a pull they can no longer ignore. So as this story continues, one truth becomes clearer with every passing moment. The surprise you created in their heart did not end that day. It was only the beginning of something they are still trying to understand. A quiet turning point is approaching, and even if no one around them notices it yet, something inside their heart is beginning to move. The thoughts they once tried to ignore are no longer easy to silence. Your presence has settled into their mind like a steady echo that refuses to disappear. At first they believed it was only curiosity. Then they thought it was just surprise. But now they are starting to realize that the feeling is deeper than either of those things. It carries a sense of importance they cannot explain. And that realization has placed them in a moment of reflection they never expected to experience. When they look back at the moment that shocked them, they now see it from a completely different perspective. What once felt like a simple event now appears like a message they overlooked. Something about your actions carried a quiet strength that continues to resonate in their thoughts. It showed them that there was more to you than they ever allowed themselves to see. And recognizing that truth has created a powerful shift inside them. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you in this part of the story. There are moments when they wonder how they missed it before. How did they fail to see the depth that was right in front of them? How did they overlook the quiet confidence that now feels impossible to ignore? These questions circle through their mind, and each time they return, they lead back to the same conclusion: they underestimated you. And realizing that has changed everything. Now when they think about the future, your presence appears within it in a way that never happened before. It is subtle but undeniable. A quiet possibility forming in the background of their thoughts. They imagine the moment they might see you again. Not as someone they once believed they understood, but as someone who surprised them in a way they cannot forget. Don't skip this moment, because what they are feeling now is stronger than they expected. There is a certain anticipation growing inside them. It is the feeling people experience when they realize a story they thought was finished may actually be beginning again. The more they reflect on you, the more they feel that something important remains unfinished between you. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, meaningful way that invites another chapter. They remember the exact feeling that appeared in their heart when they saw what you did. It was a mixture of astonishment and admiration. That feeling has stayed with them. And now it has evolved into something even more powerful, an urge to understand you better than they ever tried before. Something huge is waiting for you as this story continues. Because slowly, a decision is forming in their heart. It is not a rushed decision. It is not based on impulse. It is forming through reflection, through curiosity, through the growing realization that your presence changed something inside them. They want to see you again, not just to revisit the past, but to discover what might be possible in the future. And this thought has begun to bring them a strange sense of excitement. They imagine what it would feel like to stand in front of you once more, to see the confidence that surprised them, to hear the calm strength in your voice again. They wonder whether the energy they felt in that moment will appear again when your paths cross. Because sometimes a single moment reveals more truth than years of ordinary interactions. Stay till the end, because the truth they are discovering may surprise even you. The more they think about it, the clearer one thing becomes. What shocked them was not just what you did, it was the realization of who you truly are. Someone authentic. Someone strong. Someone capable of standing in their truth without needing approval from anyone else. Those qualities are rare. And when someone recognizes them unexpectedly, they leave a lasting impression. That impression is exactly what you left in their heart. And now the idea of seeing you again is no longer just a passing thought. It has become something they quietly hope will happen. They may not show it openly yet. They may keep these thoughts hidden behind their daily routine. But inside them, the desire to reconnect is growing stronger with every passing day. Don't skip what comes next. Because when two paths that once crossed unexpectedly begin to move toward each other again, it often means the story between them is not finished. And as their realization continues to deepen, one truth stands out more clearly than anything else. The moment that shocked them did not push them away from you. It pulled them closer than they ever imagined possible.